All protocols already established, I would just like to bid you all a very hearty Berwick good afternoon. I want to start out by telling you a little story written by Mr. John Rocco entitled The Blackout. This is a story about a little boy who lives in a very busy and loud and hot city. Now, this boy is a part of a family that has 3 other persons who are always so busy. So he goes and he gets a board game and he's trying to see who will stop what they're doing and spend some time with him. There's mommy who is busy on her computer, and there's sister who is on her phone and shouts at him, "Go away!" And of course, there's daddy in the kitchen who says, "Not now, too busy." So poor little guy drags himself upstairs to his room and begins to play with his video games. And then boom, the lights go out. Yes, everywhere there is no light, there is a blackout. Nothing works at all. The city is dark and quiet and still. So they decided to get some candles and some flashlight, sit around and wait for the lights to come back on. But after a long wait, there was no light and it had become unbearable and hot inside. They therefore decided to go to the roof of the top of their apartment building. And wow! Up in the sky, there was beautiful light from the stars, and there were people on top of the roof of the other apartment buildings. Yep, there was a massive party taking place on top of the roofs of all the buildings. They began waving to everyone, only to realize that there was sound coming from below too. So they decided to go down from the roof and into the streets to join in on that party. There was free ice cream, food and drinks, children running around and playing, and people making music and singing with their own instruments. And most importantly, no one was busy at all. Then the lights came back on and everything went back to being normal. So the boy goes and he clicks off the light. His mommy reaches for the board game. His sister hangs up her phone. Daddy pulls up a chair, pats him on the head and says, "This is such a good idea, buddy." And of course, they all sit down to some good family time. I guess this family makes us realize that sometimes we just have to do away with normal and comfortable and learn to adjust and readjust to things in our lives. I have chosen today to share the story with you because it relates so much to what we have been experiencing this year with this strange virus and being in quarantine. For many of us, our daily comfort level changed so drastically and suddenly. We had to learn to adjust to what they are now calling the new normal. So many of us, however, are still waiting for normal to return. I know because I'm one of those persons. But I'm not here to talk to you today about COVID-19 or even being in quarantine. I am taking time today to talk with you a bit about transformation and fostering a growth mindset by making the best of an experience. We can all agree that this year has been nothing close to normal for us as it relates to going to school or work or spending time with our family and friends. I, at my very senior age, is still trying to manipulate a lot of the technology I'm being told that I have to use, right? And yes, it has been quite frustrating at times, and in my head I begin to scream, when is this madness going to be over? But the truth of the matter is, like the family in the story that was waiting for the lights to come back on and were just sitting there in confining darkness, we too have been confining ourselves to the awesome possibilities by just sitting in the same place and waiting for it to happen. One thing that stands out for me about this year is the feeling one gets that we have been deprived of many opportunities. An opportunity to shine and to show off our talents and skills whether it was on the playfield, in a classroom, or on a platform. But you're not going to let that blackout or setback stop you from joining the party or even throwing the party. As a matter of fact, you are the party because you have developed and grown the right mindset, the right attitude that have moved you forward to greatness. I want you to start by taking all the challenges of this year and view them as an opportunity to create the best you. That is, you are going to make it a stepping stone to the next phase of your life. So what is a mindset? A mindset is a set of attitudes that we hold or establish about ourselves. And yes, it can be positive or negative. These attitudes allow us to perceive our success and failures in a certain way. This, of course, involves what is known as self-talk. What is it that you're speaking over and into your life each day? What is your personal affirmation about yourself? One of the challenges some of us are facing today is the disappointment we feel in that we did not get sent to the school we had wanted to attend. I also know that many of you are already trying to get transferred to a more desirable school because you have already told yourself that you would not achieve your goals in the school you were placed. Even worse is your belief that if you go to a particular school and be seen in a particular uniform, then you will do much better at achieving your goals. That is a kind of self-talk some of us are already having, but I can tell you that is a kind of attitude or mindset that will definitely keep you from reaping the best rewards over the next 5 years. And for those of us who were placed in our desired school and have developed some kind of attitude that we have arrived, just know that is not how it works. Everyone has to put in some hard work. However, I can assure you that you can learn and achieve anywhere you go. Yes, bloom where you are planted. I have taught in quite a few schools that are not on anybody's first choice of schools, and I have taught young men and women who have gained many passes in CSEC and other exams, or have won athletic and performing arts scholarship. Today, these same young men and women have managed to accomplish great things and have become great nation builders. Your attitude or your mindset will determine how you rise, how far you rise, and how long it takes you to rise. So start right now to put on your hat of positivity and begin to grow your mindset or your attitude into one of success and greatness. Begin right now to affirm success over your life. Generate that which you desire by speaking it over your life. I am destined for greatness. As a matter of fact, say I am greatness. There's nothing stopping me but me. What? No, I cannot be stopped. It doesn't matter where I am or what is in my past. I just know that I can. Yes, I can. I am a champion, and champions never quit. Yes, let go of what is already done. Clear out all the negativity, affirm it, and believe it. On the other hand, there are others of you who are even blaming your placement on the fact that it is because you did not get a chance to do the rest of the exam this year. Well, there's a very valuable lesson in that thought. It reminds you that you need to make the best of every single opportunity when it comes along. There is no slacking off at any time because you do not know what the next moment holds. You therefore need to work hard from the outset and give your very best at all times, no matter what that is. Just make sure it is your very best. Therefore, I also want you to bear this in mind. If something pushes you down, you need to find the strength to get back up and keep pushing until you achieve your best. Like the story that was told earlier, we have to first learn to sometimes step away from what we find is most comfortable and normal, which is energy vampires, also known as bad company, and the false hype created these days by social media. These, my lovelies, is in so many cases are some of the things that will confine you or hold you back from progressing. You may be experiencing a little blackout or some disappointment right now, or it may come later on at some point as you go through the rest of your life's journey. What you need to do is to learn to make the best of what you are going through. Pull up my selector and come again. Oh yes, you are your own selector in this party. You are responsible for creating the tunes to which you will sing and dance. Know that your possibilities are endless once you begin to generate positive thoughts and get rid of negative thoughts and actions that only keep you down and prevent you from rising. It would be such a folly on my part here today not to address the people that provide the fuel to the engine that drives and will continue to drive you to a future of greatness. And that, of course, are your parents. Yes. As parents, you have to understand how very important your role is in the life of these young people. You are supposed to be their biggest cheerleaders, the one that begins the positivity affirmation over their lives, the ones to teach them how to be winners and hold them up through the process. Of course, we know the dirty tough sometimes, but we have to do our part in providing a nurturing environment for them as they go through. So, are you the parents at the beginning of the story, which you heard earlier, who are just too busy and can't wait for normal to return? So, are you the parents at the beginning of the story who are, which you heard earlier, who are just too busy and can't wait for normal to return so you can get rid of the botheration? Or are you the parents that stops and takes time to make sure that your little gem is on the right track? Or were you the parent who made sure that throughout this whole situation, you made adjustment so that your sons and daughters could reap the best? Or are you the parent who's stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping up to make sure that your kings and queens will have the best future? They will rise and take their rightful place in this society. I grew up with 8 brothers and sisters, and we were very poor. My father was a farmer and my mother worked in the postal service for just what my grandmother would call pittance. Daddy used to drive the bread truck for the local baker, and he would often bring home bags of stale-ish jonjo bread to feed the pigs we reared. Yes, jonjo, those little green, moldy looking things that grow on your food after they've been left out a while. Yes. I remember my siblings and I coming home from school, and we would often go digging through these bags trying to find one that was not so stale or jonjo-ish so that we could eat. I also remember going to school with no lunch money, only my bus fare, and back then there was no PATH program. I also remember my parents who did not even go past grade 9 because their parents couldn't afford to send them, telling us that your life would be better than mine. And one of the ways they made sure of that was to provide us with daily prayers and a good education. Yes, we had to go to school every day and we had to bring home the grade. They made sure my sisters and brothers and I were rising to success every single day through their care and never-ending lessons of being responsible. So parents, no matter what your situation is today, you need to step up and make it happen for your kings and queens. So if you invest little, you will get back little or nothing at all. But if you invest much, you will reap plenty. And by the way, lots of hugs, a very safe and caring home are huge investments in any child's life. Don't be afraid to hug and to show your child love and care while speaking and creating greatness into their lives. Stop focusing on the wrong things like the bling, hype, and flossing, and instead teach them how to be responsible men and women. And if you don't know how to do it, find somebody who knows and ask them to guide you. In the words of Olaf from the movie Frozen, love is putting someone else's needs above your own. That's what we have to do sometimes for our children. So look out for your youths and treat them right. Stop, listen, talk with them often. Never be too busy for your child. This is what this blackout has taught a lot of parents who had to spend countless hours of quarantine with their children. The next 5 years will be crucial, so make them count. If you are not yet pouring greatness into your child, make that start right now. Change up the thing, transform your thinking and your attitude. Undoubtedly, this year we have learned to function under really unusual circumstances. So there may be more challenges ahead. Schooling as you know it may be different at the start of the new academic year, and no one knows at this point how long it will last. Although we have to learn to do a lot of things so very differently, I am sure there's a lot of good that came out of our experiences this school year. We now understand that if we sit around and wait for normal to return, then we will miss out on so much. We are also now aware that we have to seize every single opportunity as they come and make the best of them. Yes, there is no slacking off at any time. I am also sure that we understand that all this will manifest with positive thinking and great self-talk. Know that change is good as it allows for progress. I myself have been known to be quite resistant to change. I hate being outside of what makes me comfortable. I have, however, come to realize over the years that once I change my thinking and indulge in some serious positive self-talk, yes, some great affirmations over my life, I realize that I'm able to see the potential for growth and enlightenment and be able to strive for excellence. These are two things. Actually, these are two school mottos that have been instilled in me since college and primary school. One of the greatest self-talks, however, that I have often repeated during many of my challenging times is a motto I was taught in high school, which in Latin says, Unc montem minida. Now give me this mountain. It reminds me that when the challenging times come, that I must be ready to take it on courageously and positively. Through sacrifice and belief, know that you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to do. Remember, awareness goes where energy flows. That means whatever you think, that you shall be or achieve. So today, I leave you with a charge that has been instilled in you for the past 6 years in this wonderful school, and something that should never leave your thoughts. Aim for excellence. God bless you and walk good.